Welcome to Straight to the Point. What is A3 problem solving? We're going to be taking a look at what A3 problem solving is, and in particular, what does that exactly mean? A3 itself is actually the size of paper. It refers to a 420 by 297 millimeter page. This large page is also sometimes referred to as tabloid paper. Essentially, what we're going to be doing with A3 problem solving is summarizing our problem as well as our improvement event on a single page. A3 could also be looked at as a very helpful communication tool, keeping it simple, keeping all your information on a single page. How to apply A3 is very subjective. There's going to be some times where you're going to be using lean principles, and other times you're going to be using Six Sigma. Other times you're not actually going to be using any particular process management methodology. Rather, it's going to be used again as that communication tool. Your A3 may include the background, your stakeholders, your current state, proposed future state, your implementation plan, also your control plan, so post-implementation, how you're going to be measuring success. However, let's take a look at a quick example of what an A3 may look like. This again is just going to be one type of format. As this is a very subjective format, what's really important to take away is that you're using a single page. As you can see on our A3 template here in the top left, we have the initiative title, who it was prepared by, the last time it was updated, because you are going to be continuing to use your A3 page as a discussion point. So you may actually have a single touch point meeting with your actual stakeholders, but then as you're maybe meeting with your sponsor, your champion, or with your stakeholders again, perhaps on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, depending on how you've arranged it for your communication updates, you're going to be bringing back your A3 and using this single page as your communication tool. You're going to see that the metrics that are listed on our template here have that theme and purpose, so listing what your background is, what exactly is your initiative trying to solve, what is that problem, followed by your objectives, so you're outlining here what your goals and your targets are, listing the key objectives, so what is your desired future state conditions, how you're going to be measuring success, your current state status. This could take a look at either what your current state is from perhaps process mapping, your procedures. It also could be interviews, but just really trying to clearly articulate what your current state looks like. You're going to be seeing then your analysis and root causes below. This is going to get into more of your problem solving tools. You could be pulling in data from other types of systems, or you could be conducting the 5 that Ishikawa fishbone diagram, where you're going to be looking at those causes as well as trying to understand what the root cause is that has led to this problem and why it needs to be solved. Looking at the top right, we can see there's countermeasures. So this is what should be done. So who are the key contacts, your champions? It could refer to what your actual strategy is. What's unresolved is also going to be listed here because you are meeting again with your stakeholders, you're meeting with your champions potentially. What's unresolved here, you may be looking for further type of support from this group, or you may be wanting to bring forward what these potential risks are. Below resolved, we have implementation plan and status. This is really going to look like what your Gantt chart may be from a project management tool set, just outlining what your schedule and your milestones are to know who could potentially be implementing it, and what are those risks behind it. And then finally, your control plan. And your control plan is that post-implementation benefits realization. So you're wanting to make sure after you've implemented that all those goals that you set out to achieve are actually being realized. In a nutshell, that's what A3 problem solving looks like. It's about keeping it simple on a single page, outlining everything that's really important for your stakeholders and your audience for review. Although you may keep separate documents that are going to have more detail behind it, it's really from a communication tool to make sure that only what is necessary is being presented. And we're done. That concludes this session. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to leave them in the comments. If you like what you saw, please click like. If you didn't like what you saw, you can also click dislike. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much.